Recorded live from the floor of the Palm Room during VCG's annual conference in sunny Orlando, Florida, join Jeff and Aaron as they pull in friends from across the country, share insights from the week's events, and more than likely dive deep on all the stuff they did at Disney World. So sit back, relax, and reflect on 2024 with us. Your secret VCG experience starts now.
Yeah, we'll be in these
ones.
All right. Have a good time.
He was right, and so we always just kind of like gave each other.
Yeah, stretch those out, Austin. Do whatever you need to do.
What's that?
I said just stretch those out. Do whatever you need to do.
Yeah,
there.
I got a big head, man.
Oh man, you're in the zone now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Need to turn it up a little bit.
Let's see. Let me find your.
Okay. All right.
This is
Hey,
you. How's that?
I'll tell you
How's that? How's that?
That's perfect.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Jeff, can you hear Austin okay?
Say something.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Jeff, we got Austin Hensley.
I know. First time. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Privilege.
Austin's the executive director in the Chapmanville, West Virginia office.
That's a true story. Austin's fresh with the company, right? Austin, when did you
Yes,
start,
sir.
man?
October 28th was my first day. So,
That's an official start date right there.
yeah.
Jeff, when did you start?
I started on January the 18th of 2013.
Holy cow. Someone's
at it
going
for
to
a
get
long
Years
time.
of Service Award tomorrow or tonight.
When do I ever get an award?
I don't know. I'm going to get you recognized. Is that the problem? You're not getting recognized enough?
I'm pissed off about it. Tonight, I'm just going to get there and ruin everybody else's time.
I would air some grievances tonight.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's fair, right?
Yeah.
Tell them that your good friend Austin Hensley encouraged you to say this and then
I'm gonna
just
say,
go.
I wasn't going to do this, but Austin, I talked about. His name's Austin too.
Yeah, we got
Austin
two
Creel,
Austins here.
How you doing, buddy?
sound technician,
Yeah.
video guy, all around. I'm his number one fan in the whole world.
Yeah,
I have a picture he
evidence of this.
autographed for me that said to my biggest fan.
Really?
See,
Yeah.
argue with that.
Austin, welcome to Orlando, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, this is your first annual meeting.
Yeah.
It's going to be a memorable one. Have you had a good time so far?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Awesome. When
Just,
did you get in town?
Yesterday, 4:30. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice. What'd you get into today?
Today, not much, man. I was kind of just hanging out in the room a little bit. Had the phone today.
God, you had to work.
A little bit.
Did you go to the pool at least?
Yeah, I went down to the pool
Okay.
later, grabbed some lunch.
Yeah.
Hung out with some
Okay,
of the
you got a
guys.
little color on your face there.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. That's nice to do in December.
Yeah.
Get that tan, go back home, everybody can be jealous, you know?
Austin, if you get a vote where the annual meeting is next year, throw something out for us.
What is it?
Where the annual meeting's held at next year, what city are you thinking next year? We did Nashville last
yeah,
year.
where have they been?
The year before that was Cincinnati. This year's Orlando.
Let's see here.
It's got to be reasonable. You can't say Honolulu.
Well, he could.
Right,
He could.
Right.
You could if you
Quit
want to waste
limiting
your
this
time.
man's dreams.
I think what about like Charleston, South Carolina?
Oh,
That's a pretty good pick.
that's a good pick.
Yeah.
Is that one of the top places you would like to move to and live if you had to relocate, say, out of the state? I hear that all the time, is why I ask. Like, if you had to move to a different city in Charleston, it comes up all the time.
I do hear it. For me personally, I think like Wilmington,
Wow.
like a place like Retire or something
Yeah.
like that.
Delaware?
No.
Just kidding.
No.
Sorry to the people of Wilmington, Delaware. It's
Yeah.
probably lovely.
North
It
Carolina.
doesn't seem like anyone but Joe Biden's trying to get to Wilmington, Delaware for some reason. He goes to Wilmington quite a bit. Anyways, he does. That's a fact, yeah. Man, hey, you know what? Why don't we do it at the Disney Resort at Hilton Head next year? We already have our Disney points saved up from this event. We love Hilton Head.
I like it.
Probably expensive.
Oh, it's crazy expensive. You kidding me?
I already know where it's going to be next year.
Wow. Do you want to tell us?
No.
Oh.
Maybe I should. Should I reveal it?
Well, we can
Would
edit.
you like to know? I mean, just you're speaking for the entire company right now. Should I or not?
Like reveal it tonight.
Right now.
Yeah.
No, just on here, but it'll
Yeah,
be seen
yeah,
by
yeah.
3 or 4 people.
Yeah, go
right?
for it. Yeah.
Well, it'll be either in Dallas or Austin. in
Oh, wow.
Texas.
It's going to be in
that's great.
Texas.
In fact, you know what? Because of Austin, I think we're going to go to Austin. I
do
just
it,
made up my
Austin.
mind. We're going to Austin, Texas.
Woo!
You got to sometimes follow the universe, and this is heavy signal I'm getting.
Right. Yeah.
Right there in the drink line right now is Austin Stevens as well. So this is, yeah. We could have just a cluster of Austin.
God, he looks good back there too.
Who knows?
You know, we used to do this show called Eat the Whole Watermelon, and I arm wrestled him on there a couple times, left and right handed, and he kept beating me. Mark, set, go. Did you know that Austin that recruited you is my cousin?
Really? Austin Stevens?
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh,
doesn't it?
well, yeah. I just put two and two together. Yeah.
We don't talk about that a whole lot because I don't ever want people to view
He's a
him
great
as-
guy. Great guy.
He's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
He's
I
my
don't
only
get-
family
yeah.
member that works at the company.
Really?
Currently, my mom did. She's a nurse.
I don't care for him.
No, well, it's
Man, I'm not a
I
fan.
understand.
Man, he's tall and Austin-like. You know.
You like this?
I
You like
love.
Austin
I like
Hensley?
these all. No, this is a good pair of Austins
Austin
here.
Creel?
Yeah, yeah. 3 Austins spoil the batch, is what they say. That's an old saying.
Did you know that Austin was a star athlete?
From what I understand, him and Zach Wellman's brother are both elite athletes, and Zach wasn't. Was my understanding. So.
Oh, Zach couldn't walk and chew gum.
Yeah, that was my
know about that.
understanding.
He's not around to hear that, is he?
I don't know about that.
Also, what you don't know is that the one of Zach Wellman's first meetings at the company,
Yeah.
we were in Lexington at a regional meeting, and Matt Walker introduced him as the least athletic of the Wellman brothers or something along those lines. And Zach had to get up and present after that.
That's great.
And he's like, I know what it's like to live in the shadow of my sibling.
Yeah. His brother did get a lot of publicity. Though. A lot.
Well,
He
there's
played
that.
in the NFL.
Yeah, for a little
Yeah.
bit.
I mean,
Had
it
a
wasn't
quick
like it
stint.
was for nothing.
Yeah, got a quick stint with the Washington Redskins, well now Washington Commanders. But,
What was your athletic prowess
Yeah.
in? What sport would you
played
do?
baseball and football, but I played football in college. Played
Where
for
at?
West Virginia for 2 years, and then finished up at West Virginia State,
What position?
quarterback.
Wow.
He was a quarterback at
Yeah,
WVU.
QB1 over there. Yeah.
Not at West Virginia, I was in QB1, but I was there.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you a married man?
I'm in a relationship with my
Okay.
girlfriend right now.
Were you dating her while you were at WVU? Okay. Whenever
Didn't
you
know
were a
her.
quarterback at West Virginia, did ladies just flock to you because of your position on the football team? Tell us the truth. We all wonder things like this. Nobody asks.
I think it helped, for sure.
Yeah,
I
okay.
wouldn't say flock, but that some knew who you were. you
Yeah.
know, but
And if they
I
didn't
never really,
know, did
I never,
you
I
ever?
was never type that guy to use that line.
Oh, you
know,
didn't.
I was,
You didn't casually mention it. or
Yeah, I
anything?
was never like, hey, I'm on the football team. I was never.
You weren't warming your shoulder up or anything?
Because a lot of guys did use that line.
Not even once. Be real. You had to have said it one
I mean,
time.
they were like, so what do you do? I was like, well, I play football.
if they asked that, then you can't. But you never went out of your way.
No, never was out of my way.
That's a sign of character right there.
Yeah, you didn't wear jersey and helmet around just so they
A lot
knew.
of guys just wore their gear, their team gear out and
Yeah.
stuff. They try to make themselves known.
A lot of our officers.
What would be a really good nonchalant way to let someone know that you're on the quarterback at WVU on the football team? You walk into a party or something, you try to drop that line. How would you go about it?
Okay, so I'm walking in. It's at a house party, and there's a lot of people. Guys and girls are there. Everyone's just having a good time, and I announce, guys, I am, because I'm a couple minutes late. Guys, I am so sorry I'm late. The quarterback meeting ran late today. I am never late. I feel so bad, and really make it over the top. I'm just not late. That's so against my character. But the quarterback meeting went really late.
Right.
Over at the football field this evening.
And to be clear, I'm
and
not
as,
the staff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
As one of
by
the,
the way,
yeah,
yeah. I'm on the football team.
And got,
And I
and
play
look, I hate to be, but my right shoulder is killing me because so many reps because of.
Yeah, don't touch me too hard on the right
Yeah.
arm.
Or you just kind of do it when you go in and they're like, hey Jimmy, throw me a beer, and then you just really just show it off. You know what I mean?
Or
You're
you'd be
just-
like the guys that walk around with the invisible lat syndrome.
Yes, yeah.
It's like, well, watch out and walk
Yeah.
through here. Kind of a big deal,
Did you have to overcome anything football stereotype related? Have you
far
found any
as-
negatives with the football? Obviously, there's positives. The girls like the fact that you were a
Yeah,
quarterback.
I think
are
like
there.
some professors, that I had classes with, I think they
Yeah.
had that kind of idea of, well, he's just a football player.
I see.
And, but once you talk to them, once
Yeah.
you introduce yourself, and they I figured with me personally, like it worked itself out pretty
Yeah.
much. No, but it was I don't know. there was some different scenarios, I believe.
Sure.
But everything was fine.
I got you. Cool.
How tall are you?
6'2".
You don't look that. I think I could take you.
Oh God.
I'm kidding.
Honestly, I always had the X on my back, during the games and stuff.
Yeah.
But they take
Well,
a hit, take a hit.
okay. Work-wise, how's it going in Chapmanville?
Yeah.
It's going good, man.
Are you
Just
going to move
learning.
the office to Logan or leave it in Chapmanville?
To be honest, man, I'm just keeping my eyes open. If a better location pops up, I think Logan, like up towards called Fountain Place up there with all the stores and stuff. I think
Yeah.
that would be a better location. But for now, I mean, we're right there in Chapmanville, so
My grandfather was from Logan County,
we're at.
relocated back up to Huntington, and that's how I got there. But that's where my family roots are from down there.
Logan.
Mm-hmm.
See, I grew up in Hurricane. Well, obviously, was born, raised in Chapmanville, but we moved to Hurricane in second grade when I was in second grade.
Yep.
And
Hurricane, for those of you listening, is hurricane.
Hurricane.
It's just,
Sorry.
that's how we say it.
yeah. No, then now everybody's back home. My sister lives in Logan. Mom and Dad live in Chapmanville. I live like 2 minutes from them, and got both my grandpas there, my aunts, uncles. So blessed,
Awesome.
grateful. Yep.
Well, we're lucky to have you too. I remember
grateful
when,
for the opportunity. Grateful.
when Austin Stevens had met you and he was introducing you to me, because I go through the interview process. He was really, really excited about you as a candidate and had a lot of glowing things to say, and you've backed all of them up. So thanks. Pleasure to work with you,
Hey,
man.
Austin, let me ask you this
Thanks
real
for
quick, man.
opportunity.
Do you come from a like a coal mining background? You have some.
All my families are coal miners. Actually,
Yeah.
I was coal mining before I got this job.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask. So we
Really?
Yes, sir.
So one of the what would you call it? One of the inspirations of this podcast is Keaton Turner, right? He's out of Bloomington, Indiana. He owns Turner Mining Company, right? And a couple years ago, we had this connection with Keaton about the podcast. He does a podcast for his crew because he said it's not really possible for them to read the newsletters, right? They want to know what's going on at corporate, but his guys are out in equipment all day. They do surface mining.
Yeah.
And he said, so they started doing this virtual deal where they'd be able to listen to it in the cabs of the equipment. And people would kind of joke, what does home care and mining have in common? Right, still, it was people, right? When you get above what we do on a daily basis, there's a lot of people involved in making the thing work. What things have you brought over from the industry that you were in before you came to Village Caregiving that has given you skills for this job?
That's a good question.
Thank you. Hey,
Yeah.
thank you.
I don't know why I felt like I needed to say that. They're all good questions.
I appreciate
No,
it.
it is.
Especially good.
That's a strong question.
It is a good question. Honestly, it's basically all my family's coal miners, man. My papa, he did it for I think 41 years,
Wow.
I believe. My dad's done it for 35.
Yeah.
Uncles have, cousins, everybody. And I think it's just the blue collar mentality. I take away from it. It's kind of been instilled in me as a kid. It's work for everything you got.
Sure.
And the results speak for themselves. So it's just kind
Were
of the mentality.
you doing like the whole underground mining?
I was
down
not
in the-
underground. I was surface. I run
Surface.
heavy equipment. That's what I did.
What about your
My dad.
family?
Yeah, my dad. Yeah, underground. 35
The
years.
whole like movie scene going down,
Like-
headlamp,
every day.
dust. Yeah.
Let me see if I can talk a little shoplifting. What kind of equipment you run?
I ran a loader.
Yeah, what size?
650
A
Hyster.
650. Holy cow.
Loader.
Yeah, I
Come
heard
on,
him.
so
Big-
you know
yeah,
what
big,
he's talking
big,
about?
Big rubber tired loader.
He
Right?
thinks you're talking about
there
a
was
printer.
Yeah, no, I knew. I knew. What kind of tonnage does that bucket handle?
Dude, a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know exact numbers, but I've lifted some
got
heavy
you.
stuff. I mean, we were lifting rail cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Loading supplies on
Think
it.
about
Sending
that.
it underground on a slope to the deep mine. Like, I don't know. I think it's 2,000 feet maybe.
Yeah.
Down the
It's
slope
pretty
to the
cool
bottom.
to be on that big equipment moving around, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you guys be on your P's and Q's with it.
Sure.
And then
Have you
Can't
ever been on
slack
that
off.
equipment?
Can't
I
slack
have, yeah.
really,
Yeah.
What?
Where?
Yeah. Look at this.
Where?
So I worked. We don't have to put this in, but I worked for an aggregate mover. It was a local trucking company. Had like 60 over the roads at one point. They hauled most of the stuff out of Somerset down to Cargill.
Yeah.
But we owned 2 river docks, and we hauled all the salt in the state houses at West Virginia, so all the salt barns in West Virginia. But we hauled a lot of specialty coal for Calgon, went down to Alabama quite a bit for it. But because of those river docks, we had 3 or 4 rubber-tired loaders, either Komatsu or Cats, had D5 and D6 wide-track dozers, had 2 or 3 excavators, 315, and then a 365 with an extenda stick to dig out of the river. And then we had a couple 277B skid steers. That was my specialty.
Yeah.
I could move around the skid steer pretty well.
Yeah.
The rubber-tired loaders, I never really did get the hang of. I wasn't on them enough.
It's all feel, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
you can't see your forks
Yeah.
and stuff, so you drive by feel and by, well, you could hear if you mess something up.
Sure.
Like you'll hear a pallet bust. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's not right.
But no, yeah, we were around quite part of my job was to make sure that we had the repairs on all that equipment going. And so dealt a lot with Wayne Supply, Ohio Cat, and then Boyd Cat. Messed with a lot of that equipment. Ordered a lot of parts for it. Ordered a lot of stuff I didn't know where it went on the equipment, to be completely honest with you. So,
Not your stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
He
those
has
were-
been around it.
I guess he passed the test.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
That's awesome, though. You know?
Yeah, see, I've never actually had the nerve to do that with Keaton because he really knows his stuff.
Right.
Like, I'm not even going to get near that conversation with that guy.
Don't give Keaton any credit for anything. I don't want to be nice to him. I'll tell you something funny. I'm joking around. You're never going to watch this anyway, Keaton. I could say anything I want to. We're friends, obviously. I don't know if I've told you this. We have a standing every other Thursday, like Zoom
You
with
and
each
Keaton
other.
do?
Yeah. We put them on our calendars. I'm pretty sure it was April. Back around the time that we went to Fayetteville and got that cabin together.
Yeah.
I for some reason I remember. Was that around that time?
Yeah.
Back-
Well, yeah, it was. You were
cold.
watching the hockey finals.
Yeah, and you were finishing up 75
Yeah,
hard. So does that
absolutely.
feel like
Yeah,
it was
uh-huh.
okay? So that's been 8 months.
Yeah.
We have yet to have one of them.
So every other week, this shows up on your calendar.
Yep. And every single time, one of us can't make it. I've logged in and waited.
Yeah.
It's actually, you know what's great about it is that it's just turned into like a block for myself.
I got you.
Or maybe he feels the same way. It's my fault too. Sometimes I'll get the little email that says like later on that day I'll see Keaton Turner has arrived in your Zoom meeting, and I couldn't
man.
make that one.
And you're not there.
8 months we've yet to get one off the ground. But Keaton, my man, I believe before next April we're gonna get one in there. Sometimes we get really pumped about it. We're like, this is gonna be the one.
Yeah.
And then I'll get a picture of like him just with his kid like fishing or something. Yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Well,
That was a boring story.
no, I don't think so. Well, also, man, thank you. Jeff kind
Yeah.
of has this thing, and it's going to be maybe a bit of a challenge for you because you're newer to the company, all right? You've got to go out and get the next guest and get them back here to this microphone.
Who's the next?
Whoever you bring to this microphone is the next guest.
Okay.
You just got to go get them.
Okay.
Okay?
I appreciate your time.
Thanks,
fellas.
buddy.
Hey, yeah, man. Hey,
thank
thanks
you.
for coming
Cheers.
down. Yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate
Cheers.
it.
Yep.
Thanks for real.
He's a good guy.
Oh, kidding?
Yeah, I wouldn't fight him, I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, how old do you think he is? 28? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I was gonna yell at him.
Hey.
Hey, it's Maggie and Christy. You want to have a seat? You want to pop on?
Hey, how are you doing?
Christy Lee,
talking about?
don't run away. You want to sit down?
Yeah, get over here.
Hi there. What are we talking about?
Now, have
Anything you
met-
want.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
No?
well,
Well,
we've emailed.
yes,
We've
of
emailed.
course.
Hey,
I do
I'm
remember
Aaron,
one
by the
time
way.
that you were emailing him for a few weeks and he wouldn't even write back. That's the kind of guy he is. He said
Okay.
he had a kidney stone, but I don't believe it.
Okay, keep in mind, all right, some of these conferences we go to, we get a lot of emails. And I'm getting this email, and it's come through, and I'm like, and it's always like, they've gotten really good at getting your attention in these emails. Like, hey, as a follow-up to our meeting, I'm like, oh, I didn't know. And I
Right.
click, and it's like something, I've never even heard of this company. I'm like, we didn't have a meeting. You got me again, right?
That's true.
Yeah. Well, they had emailed me. I did not.
You thought that it was spam?
Oh, you're
yes,
spam? We're
yes.
offended.
I know.
I mean,
I
we're
know.
just going to leave.
Yeah, Ben sent me an email. He's like, man, I really need you to reply to this. It's like, oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
Do some introductions really quickly.
Yeah. I'm Aaron.
Hey, I'm Jeff.
I'm spam, apparently.
These two right here are just spam emailers. That's all they do. Really.
sorry.
NPR, public relations firm, Christy Lee, Maggie Habib. I got that all correct,
You
right?
did.
Pronunciation, everything. I don't know that
Perfect.
did I say it right?
You
No,
sure did.
I just call you Christy and Maggie, of course.
That works.
And then there's others. God, you got a great team of people. I am not joking. I have not regretted a single minute since we joined up, teamed with you guys. You're so good at what you do and fun to work with, too. That's the difference. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of firms that do good work, and you would probably
Yeah,
agree.
sure.
But you all are so down to earth and nice. I actually look forward to our calls, unlike Keaton.
Oh.
Just kidding. We never had one. I look forward to the calls just because I like to talk to you and hang out. Like I would join at 3:00 on those Wednesdays just to talk about,
Love it.
like what's
Love it.
going on in the
Yeah.
world. Forget work.
I know. We want to
Anyways.
know more about the Barbersville food scene.
Well, we're trying to add to it, you know.
I hear
Trying
that.
trying to grow, right?
Well, thanks for coming to Orlando.
For sure.
Aaron's the host of this thing. I don't know why I'm talking so much.
I'm
Kick
not.
us off, buddy.
Yeah. Well, hey, so welcome to the podcast. This is the second year that we've done this at the annual meeting. So
Okay.
welcome to Orlando. We tried to set up. We don't have anything scripted. We just have folks that are attending the meeting. Jump on. I'll have to say about you guys. You guys know more about the home care space than I think anyone ever would imagine. Like the detailed knowledge and the intimacy at which you know an industry that sometimes the industry itself doesn't even know enough about, right? Just getting the right terminology down. But you guys have a really great knowledge and have been able to, I think, articulate the story that is Village Caregiving, as well as anyone from outside the organization would ever hope to be able to do that. How have you guys pulled that off?
So we really see our job in PR as sort of the connector, right? So we're in the middle. The industry's over here, and the companies that we're supporting are on the other end, and we're sort of sitting in the middle, really trying to bring the two together. So that means that we have to read the news and be completely involved in everything that's going on in caregiving, and then be completely immersed in you as a company, and then find those connection points so that we can really bring it together and tell a story that actually impacts your business. So that's what we do and love every day, and part of it is just reading the news and making sure that we know everything that's going on. Plus, we've worked in the space for a long time.
I got you.
Senior care is a space that, unlike our backgrounds where you come from, supporting massive hotel chains or whatever, it's like, great, I helped Hilton get super rich. This is different and fulfilling, so it's easy to really dive into.
I got you. How is the story of Village Caregiving able to be told? I mean, when you guys got familiar with who the organization was, who the folks were that founded it, is that an easier story to tell than, say, a conglomerate of hotel chains or something in a different industry as you referenced?
Oh, absolutely. And I think it comes down to, your story and your why you founded the company and the purpose and this sort of void, if you will, that you're trying to fill and you're trying to do. I think everybody can relate to a loved one at home that they're trying to help, right? Whether it's their mom, their dad, or grandma, grandpa, right? There's a deep need to find good quality caregiving, right, to help families. And it's only going to this problem's only going to get bigger, and there's going to be more families in need, right? We know there's a population now that's aging, right, living longer, but they want to stay at home. Well, who's going to help them, right? And so you guys were very smart to identify this big need in the marketplace, right? And then coming in to say, hey, we can be that reliable source for you. We can be that friend, right? We can be that companion for grandma and grandpa or aunt or whomever it is in your family. So I think you were very smart to identify this need, but then also just because the story is so relatable on so many levels to so many people, that's why it's an easy story to tell, right?
Sure.
But then you have great spokespeople, right? Whether it's Jeff or Danielle or the local caregivers in all your markets, right? And the executive directors, all of them have such heart for your mission and for your purpose that authenticity comes through, right? We can't media train that. We can't
Absolutely
right.
not.
Like we can give you like you said, the right words to sort of articulate and describe it, but that authenticity and that passion, we cannot media train.
Yeah.
That, right. So that's what's been so great. But your story is, it's true, right? Everything
ask
you
you.
do is true. So.
Let me ask you a question. We've done some media training, right? How am I doing with that? Now, live on the air, be dead honest. I'm probably not the easiest student of all time because you can tell I just kind of say a lot of stuff.
It's important that you know before you answer that, though, that he has been in the biz for quite a while. He's talked on this podcast many, many times about his in the biz knowledge. So now feel free to answer that question.
This is behind the scenes,
Christy,
behind the
how-
curtain peek at what they say about Jeff back at MPR.
Absolutely. So essentially, you have great bones. Like the bones are all there.
Yeah.
You have expertise, you have an approachability, and you have humor. Check, check, and check.
Okay, I feel like there's a but.
There,
coming.
I feel a but. Keep going. Keep going.
However,
Oh,
you know what we see with you, Jeff, is there is so much untapped expertise about like where this industry needs to go, why Village Caregiving has done so well, but also your leadership. Like to have grown this company the way that it has evolved is stellar, and I think that there's just untold stories, and there's maybe a little bit of too much humility, and we'll talk about this a little bit tomorrow, where the companies that knock on our door and say, MPR, we want to be on the cover of Forbes tomorrow, are usually the ones that should not be on the cover of Forbes. And then you have the companies like Village Caregiving that are like
Doing the
just
work,
doing the good work.
showing
Their
up,
heads are
yep.
down. You're doing it all. And you know what we'd love to see you do is really evolve more into that thought leader, to really take that stand as an industry contender and say, this is how the industry should lay out. And by the way, this is how you run a company that is fulfilling for everyone involved.
yeah. You know why I'm not good at that? I've been like this since I was a little kid. I just don't really like telling other people what to do or how they should think and stuff.
Sure.
Like religion, for example. I'm a person of faith, and it means a lot to me. But I'm actually uncomfortable forcing my stuff on other people.
100%.
And that it's the same little strain of thought where I don't know, it makes me
I don't wanna
uncomfortable
tell
to
you
like
what
be
to
a
think.
thought leader.
Right,
Like
right.
you know what I mean? That's a good point. Okay, I'll see if I can evolve into it.
Just so I can recap the message here, what we're hearing, we need more Jeff, is what you're saying.
Doesn't everybody?
Oh my. Okay, well, that's
You hear that? My wife's just off the other side of the hallway. Sarah, they said that the world needs more Jeff.
they need more Jeff. They don't have enough Jeff out in the world. They want more of
What do you
this
think
guy.
about that?
She might disagree.
Jeff. In
The world.
The
Everywhere
world.
needs
Yeah,
more of it.
That's what the PR company is telling us.
What do you think?
He might have been massaging that message a little bit.
That's exactly what they said.
That's what I heard Maggie say. Okay, she says. I
She
think
said
she
that's
agrees.
good. She said, yeah, maybe, I think
Yeah.
is what I heard. So that's
What are,
She
you-
didn't-
what are
she
your
didn't say
roles?
no.
What
She
is
didn't
your
say no.
role at MPR?
yeah.
Well, my role, I mean, much like what I, supporting and strategizing and helping, clients like Village Caregiving really tell their stories with impact.
What's your job title?
Whatever she wants it to be. We don't really focus on
We
You
don't
guys
just-
really are like us.
Yeah,
What's yours?
I don't know. Does it matter?
Didn't you found the company?
she
She
did.
did, but
She's the head honcho.
I'm in the
She's the
trenches.
Jeff of MPR.
Jeff, what do you do at Village Caregiving? What's
I
your-
don't know either.
what's your title?
Well, I'm very, very important. That's the thing you understand. Step one. No. Okay. What else can we talk? I had another question I wanted to ask you.
Okay. We have time for one more question, so make it a good one.
Well, okay, you have to buy me a second here. I'm making work for you to edit this. There was something I really wanted to ask you. Do you have anything? I really am not sure I'm going to be able to remember it.
What is the number one thing that, and if a director listens to this today, what would you have a message for the executive director if they want to make their location the most successful they could from a PR perspective? What's the thing they could change today and would have the biggest impact at the branch level?
I think it's figure out your message, like what you're bringing to the market, and then be proactive about getting it out there. So that's where we can come in to support, which is like those avenues of where the message needs to show up, whether it be in the news or in community partnerships, right? But there is something to be said for organic growth where it just sort of happens. But then the next layer of that is, how do I get more proactive and deliberate about showing up the places I want to show up? And that's, I think, part of the role of an executive director, and where we can really support them in that.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, I still haven't thought of what I was going to ask.
That's okay. We're here all
That was a
week.
good question,
Yeah.
though. Nicely
Oh,
done.
thank you. Jeff's really giving me a lot of compliments on my questions today.
Why do we only have time for one more?
Is
Is it dinner?
We're getting
I
really close
think
to
so.
the guest speaker. Yeah.
Okay.
Very
Hey,
excited.
well, I know what I want to ask you.
Okay.
You guys are on the agenda tomorrow
Are.
for 1 hour in the main room, then another hour in the breakout session room, right? How you feel about that? You nervous?
I mean, I was telling Maggie, I said, I'm trying to remember the last time I spoke in front of this many people. You know,
Wow.
I speak in front of people a lot, but
So
that's
a little
that's-
bit?
It's a sizable room.
Yeah.
A little. Just a
We're
little,
we're
but that's
behind the
okay.
scenes.
Yeah.
We're behind the scenes people.
So it is a little bit of something. I mean,
It's a
you're
little bit
not
of
you're
something.
not biting your fingernails off,
No.
but I mean,
No.
like there's a little bit of something you got there.
It's good. It's the
But
healthy
you-
kind.
But,
That
yeah,
is.
But it shows that you care, right? It
Yeah.
shows that you care when you're nervous.
I'm presenting an award tonight. I can tell you.
How's your
I've made
messaging?
notes. I take all of it seriously.
Nice. We appreciate that about you.
Yep. I do
Well,
take it seriously. And
We
you
do
know,
have props as well tomorrow, so I'll leave it
Yes.
at that.
props.
Props.
What are you,
not had
Carrot Top?
We've not had a speaker with. What if they
Just
start
kidding.
smashing watermelons?
We'll see how the props
Gallagher?
go, but we have props. Yes.
You
Don't
know
want to
what-
spoil the surprise.
You know what you guys do, and for people who are not familiar working with a public relations firm, you might think something like, oh, you're putting a spin on it to make Village Caregiving look good. I guess maybe there's a little bit of that, but more so it's just you make the connections that allow an office in blank state, Iowa or North Dakota or whatever, actually get in front of an audience of people to communicate to the newspaper or on the morning show or whatever it is. And we wouldn't know how to do that. That's your expertise lies in making connections, and appreciate that so much. Is that a fair statement? I mean, it's
It
not like
sure
you're
is.
trying to create some narrative for us that's not the truth.
No.
It's just that we wouldn't know how to go about, we don't have those channels.
Yeah. You all have already created the narrative, right?
Yeah.
We're just getting it out there in the right ways.
Yeah,
And that's what
You've done
Maggie
the
said
hard work.
earlier. You guys have been great. I mean, you've walked the walk, but now you've got to help you talk the talk, right? And it's often the opposite. You're doing what often is opposite of what companies come to us oftentimes is like they want to talk the talk, but they haven't walked the walk. And so it's refreshing to work with a company like Village Caregiving that, you know, you've got such a great story and great impact already. Now we just have to help you tell that story.
Christy, that was a great soundbite. You should be in PR.
Oh, wow.
Thanks,
Look at that.
That's really nice. Thank you all. You know what you should do? You should get Aaron Gustin involved a little bit more.
Okay.
I,
I love
you know,
it.
he probably won't email you back.
He'll
But-
spam.
He's a good talker, though.
Would
isn't
you
he?
guys please
So
tell
maybe
him
now
that?
he's moved us out of spam.
Yes. Would
Please
you,
unblock
We are
sender.
safe.
Would
We
you
are
guys
safe.
attest to him that I have worked very well with you guys since that moment?
They've never even.
100%.
Yes.
Oh, stop! Don't say it. Don't say it. They probably never even heard from you.
It's not true. What the one of the
What have you
note-
done with
the
them?
note you just pulled out of your pocket?
Yeah.
Was notes that I sent to them months ago.
Was it really? Oh. All right. Well, good job.
I will say I have to tell NPR this. I've worked for the company now. I'm into my 5th year in the organization, and I'm an avid news reader. I read a lot of. I heard someone make a joke the other day about people used to read Yahoo News. I still read Yahoo News. I still read
Love it.
Google News. I read it every day, and so many times I would see conversations about our industry with people that were insiders, right, or leading voices in the industry, and I never heard of these people. When I'd look up their mark in the industry, they would have like a location, you know, or they'd been in the business for 2 years. I'm like, what is it? Like, Village Caregiving should be the ones leading this conversation and saying what this thing is. And now it's so cool when I get to see those updates come across. I get them every Thursday evening or Friday morning, and it's Jeff Stevens talking about the industry, right? It's our teams talking about the industry, and that has been so cool to see. And that's really been special.
Hopefully, it's more to come of that
Yeah.
in the new year.
If only you had a thought leader out there, you know? I'm going to step up. All right.
We
Okay.
appreciate it.
2025 is a new year, Jeff.
Yeah.
I love it.
Exactly.
Boy, there's a lot of people out here.
Yeah, there are. Look
I don't know
at
if the
them.
camera
Are
can.
you nervous, Jeff?
Nah. I'm kind of like a steely-eyed missile man, you know.
This guy.
No, you know, I got a little. I like you guys. I'm appropriately.
Got a little,
I choose the word
a little
excitement.
butterfly-
My
little
wife,
butterflies?
Sarah,
Yeah.
who's I got to get her on camera because she's wearing a killer dress. It's awesome. Flag her down.
We'll get her. over here.
She'll tell you she's a psychologist.
Ah.
You know, words like nervousness or anxiety about something. It's the same exact chemical reaction happening inside of you as excitement. And you know, I choose to just say I'm excited for this instead of I'm nervous for this. Right? And then
That's a
you-
good
There you
spin.
go. Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
We need to have
about
these
that?
folks just around us more often, Jeff. This has been really reassuring.
I'm gonna get Sarah
Anytime.
here.
Yeah.
Check this out. This is my favorite dress she has. It looks kind of like a garbage bag, except it's really soft. Come back around here. with me.
It's beautiful.
What can you do to help me keep him from saying things like that?
Get in here. Here you go.
Hello.
I was telling him that you have my favorite dress on. Yeah, Maggie let you borrow her. Don't get up.
I can't hear anything.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah,
I was
there
telling
she
him that this is my favorite dress you have on, and it kind of looks like a garbage bag. And then
It
Aaron,
does.
Yeah, you know, probably that's when he reins me in. But it looks great, doesn't it? I just wanted to get it captured on camera for
Oh,
a second. It's
well,
my
there
favorite
she
one.
is.
Model that. We're having fun. This is not your
Yeah.
typical podcast.
No, this is not.
Okay, thanks, dear.
Yeah, thank you,
By
Sarah.
the way, this is my wife, Sarah. This is Maggie. Christy on the other end.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
I'm
They're
Aaron,
with
Sarah.
They're with NPR.
Hi, Aaron. Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure.
Don't shake his hand.
I'm taking his kids tomorrow. It's okay.
Hey, they're coming over on the podcast here in just a second. By the way,
Oh, good.
I've promised them that they can be on, even if we have
Let's
to
get
edit
Pearson
it out.
and Emma
Yeah.
on. Okay, good deal. Okay, we'll wrap up here. Let
let's
Christy
get
and
Emma.
Maggie go
Here,
get their
Emma.
food, or they're going to get cold plates.
Thank you
But,
so much.
Thank you. Emma, say hi.
Look in that camera right over there.
Hey,
and
you
say
guys
hello.
are the best.
that on.
I love you all. Thank you for making me look good.